What's up, guys? It's Cheyenne. Okay, so welcome to the first episode of Cos-Wise, where we cosplay wiser, not harder. So, like I said, this is kind of a mini-series that I'm trying to plan to do on my channel, going through sort of really basic sort of cosplay sewing principles, because it's something that a couple people have asked me for and it's something that I'm really excited to be able to do. We're going to talk through sort of costuming and patterns and sewing and all that stuff. But before we get into a lot of that, there are a couple things that I want to say beforehand. And I kind of thought about it in terms of when I look at pictures of myself when I first started cosplaying versus now, what do I wish that I knew before I started cosplaying? So that's going to be this. This is going to be things I wish I had known, or things you should know before you start cosplaying. Okay, so number one, you don't have to make your cosplay. Now, it's probably going to sound weird for me to say. It's probably going to sound like heresy a little bit, because I make 95% of my cosplay. I love to sew. I love to make things. I love seeing things come together. I love having it come out exactly the way I want. That's the part that's fun for me, right? I could sew stuff and sit in my room and never go to a con in it and be completely happy, right? I really could. I love cons, but that's not the part that's like living for me. I know friends who the part of cosplay that they love is going to a con in costume with their friends and like hanging out. That's the part that they love the most. I know people who love building the props the most. I know people who love doing the shoots the most. Like, everybody has usually a part that they like the best. Most cosplayers like most of it, but everybody has a part that they like the best. If sewing is not your thing, don't stress out about it. You don't need, and even if you don't have to make things. This is, for, let's be real, 90% of us always going to be a hobby. This should be fun. This should be fun. So anything that gets to the point that you dread it or you don't want to do it, you don't have to do, right? Like, I'm not that great at props. I can make a prop if I have to, but they're not my favorite thing. So 90% of the time, if I can, I'm gonna order a prop on Etsy. I'm gonna ask one of my friends to help me with it. I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna find something that I can just repaint and leave it be. I have a lot of like toy guns and stuff because that's the most I can deal with, right? If you want to just buy a cosplay and wear it to a convention, that is 100% chill. That is 100% fine. If you want to commission something from a cosplayer or seamstress that you like, that's even better, because then you're supporting the cosplay industry and a small artist, which is always great. You don't have to. Just don't feel like, don't stress yourself out about making things if that's not the part that's fun for you. Now, there is a caveat to this particular one. If you are competing in a competition, please follow the rules of that competition. Some you have to have made 80% of your costume, some you have to have made 50%, some you have to have made 100%. One person in your group has to have made your costume, but it doesn't necessarily have to be you. But don't, don't go with a store-bought or a commissioned costume to a competition, and don't claim that you made something if you didn't. Don't hide who actually made it in case somebody wants to commission that person. You could be taking business away from that person. Just be open about it, be honest about it. If you want to commission something, credit the person. If you want to buy some shit on Amazon, don't claim that you sewed it, right? Right? I'd like to think that's reasonable, but I'm just gonna make sure we're on the same page about that, right? Cool, moving on. Con crunch is overrated. Now, obviously, I've had situations where you find out maybe a celebrity you like is going to be there last minute, or a group happens really fast. I'm not saying don't make a costume last minute, but in general, for me personally, it has never been worth it, because usually if you push through and you try to con crunch for a costume, number one, it's not going to be as good as you want. You're going to have things that are half-assed. You're going to look at the pictures, you're going to be upset about it, you're not going to be happy with it, and you're going to be stressed out and exhausted and tired, and you're not going to have fun at the con. So fuck con crunch. I'm sorry. I think con crunch is overrated as shit. I don't subscribe to it. Like, fuck con crunch. Come at me. Number 3, your iron is your best friend. I feel like this is one of the most kind of underappreciated, underemphasized things in cosplay. If you are sewing a cosplay, press your fucking seams. It does make a difference. I used to not press my seams because it's a pain in the butt and I didn't want to do it, but it does make a difference in how things lay and how things come out and how polished things look. If you're buying a costume, even if all you do is take it out of the bag and steam it or iron it, it will look so much better. Like just on its own. Iron things. It's magical. It's wonderful. And I wish that I could go back in time when I see pictures of my young cosplay self and like smack myself and be like, number 4, take care of your wigs. I have not always been the best at this, especially if you are not somebody who can afford bougie bajillion-dollar human hair wigs. Take care of your wigs. Condition them, brush them out, hang them up properly. I leave a lot of my wigs on heads so that they can stay as pristine as possible, because a wig is the main thing that can make a costume look cheap. I have pictures of myself from costumes that I did when I was younger where the costume is fine or it's decently made, maybe not perfect, but whatever, but I can see that the wig is shitty and it really makes a big difference. So yeah, invest in the best wigs that you can and take as good care of them as you possibly can. Number 27. Number 5. It is okay to alter a design to make yourself more comfortable. Now, a lot of people make cosplays and they specifically want to make it 100% accurate, 100% canon, and that's totally cool. That's great. I strive for that a lot of the time. But sometimes you aren't comfortable with a certain part of your body, or you need a little bit more support. In my case, I'm fairly busty, so sometimes I have to add in straps if something didn't have straps. Or just the way that something hits you is not flattering. A lot of the time I will take something that is a lower waisted costume and make it high waisted because it just looks better on my figure for things to be high waisted, or to emphasize the smallest part of my waist versus like down at the hip. It doesn't look as good on me. Or you can even just change a detail or add a detail in. Like for every single Starfire that I do, for the most part, if it's a Starfire with an armband, I only do one, no matter if the costume has one armband or 2 armbands. That is because George Perez, who originally designed Corey, designed her with one armband on one particular side so that artists would pay attention when they drew her. So that's kind of my little tribute to him. Anytime that I do that, I always only do one armband. I have 100% of people message me or comment, be like, oh, you don't have both armbands. I know. If you are making a change for a specific reason, or if your purple isn't the exact same shade of purple as it is on that particular comic drawing, but it's the fabric that you could find, or that fabric was on sale, whereas the Canon fabric was $300 more. Again, 90% of us will only ever be doing this for fun. So you want to make stuff that you are proud of and that you are happy with. Number, I don't even know what number I'm on. And this is particularly applicable to anybody who is not the kind of standard ideal, so anybody who's a person of color or of size or who isn't as conventionally attractive, any of those kinds of things. Because I get this message a lot, people saying like, oh, I want to cosplay, but like, how do I not get mean comments? You will get mean comments. You just will. Honestly, probably even if you are perfect and gorgeous and beautiful, I'm sure like Jessica Negri gets hate comments, you're gonna get hate comments no matter what. When people see you doing something that is outside of the box, is a little weird, because let's be real, cosplay is kind of weird, people are going to give you hate. Especially if you are not what is the accepted norm. If you're a person of color, if you're a person of size, you're gonna get shit. I'm not going to say that that's acceptable. I'm not going to say that that's a good thing. It's absolutely not. You can 100% find ways to filter it out. You can 100%, you're allowed to fucking block people. You are allowed to ban people from your pages. It is your house. You do not have to put up with other people's bullshit, right? But you're going to have to make sure you can deal with a certain amount of that. It's a hard truth. It's not a truth that I like. I wish it was not that way. But it is that way, unfortunately. So yeah, be ready to take a certain amount of bullshit. Come to cons prepared. I always have a con bag with me. We have 100% had our con bags save our lives. I might do a video about like all the things you want to put in a con bag, but you at the very least want to bring like duct tape, super glue, because things will happen. Something will fall, something will come off of your costume. It's not a big deal. I'm sure that even really seasoned cosplayers have that happen to them sometimes. So pack a con bag, be ready. Also put comfortable shoes in that con bag. That's important. Now obviously, this is optional, but if you're man or woman, doesn't matter. Doing your makeup for a cosplay will really make a difference. I'm not gonna say you have to wear makeup or you're not pretty if you wear makeup or anything like that, but it's almost like the same way that you have to wear makeup for theater, you know? It's gonna complete the look, it's gonna complete the character, you're not gonna look shiny in photos, things like that. And if you're cosplaying a female character, I don't care what level it is, put lashes on. I hate wearing lashes, but they make such a difference on camera. When I look at pictures of myself without lashes and then pictures of myself with lashes, it really does make a difference. So if you are doing a feminine character, especially if you want to have large looking eyes, put a pair of false lashes on. But most importantly, like I said before, have fun. Don't take this too seriously. When you think about it, we are all dressing up as comic book characters or anime characters or Disney princesses or whatever. Most of us are grown, or at least too grown to be doing this. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be an outlet. It's supposed to be an escape. If cosplay is getting to the point where it's stressful for you or it is not fun anymore, take a step back or only do the parts that are fun for you. Do this because it makes you happy. And because at the end of the day, that's kind of all you can really ask for in life, right? Alright, yeah. So I think that is all the things that I wish I had known before I started doing cosplay. Well guys, that's the video. That's all of the stuff that I wish that I had known before I started cosplaying. Next time on Cos-Wise, we are going to do a list of the things that you really need if you want to start sewing cosplay. You don't have to buy $3 bajillion worth of stuff. We're gonna just go down the list of like the bare essentials you need to make decent looking cosplay, right? That will be in a couple of weeks. 2 weeks from now will be whatever vloggy thing I decide I want to do. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. You know, you can't tame me. I can't be tamed. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment below. If there's anything that you have questions about in terms of cosplay stuff, you can always leave a comment. I will be sure to either try to answer it or maybe answer it in another video. If you like what I do here and you like my weird nerdy sewing stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. I put out videos every 2 weeks. You can ring the bell so you can be reminded because I don't upload as often as other people, so it might be good to have the little reminder when I'm there, right?